How cool would it be if you woke up to free crypto in your wallet? Aside from the more well-known airdrops, there is another token distribution strategy known as Lockdrops that can allow you to obtain free cryptocurrency. So stick around to learn more about what Lockdrops are, how they work, examples of popular Lockdrops, and much more. New projects usually bootstrap their initial phases through one of three ways: initial coin offering, or ICO, airdrops, and most recently, Lockdrops. An ICO involves the raising of funds for a new project. However, airdrops and Lockdrops do not. Instead, they distribute free tokens to users in slightly different ways. In this video, we'll look at what Lockdrops are, how they differ from airdrops, how they work, the main features of Lockdrops, examples of popular Lockdrops, and the future of Lockdrops. Let's get started. So what is a Lockdrop? A Lockdrop is a type of token distribution method used by cryptocurrency projects to entice project participation. They require users to lock a certain amount of cryptocurrency within a smart contract for a set period of time in return for the project's own token. The caveat is that users won't be able to use the locked cryptocurrency until the specified time period expires. You may be wondering, if users get free tokens in the end, why not just use airdrops instead? To answer this, let's compare Lockdrops to airdrops. In the cryptocurrency community, airdrops are a more traditional way to distribute tokens. Historically, airdrops are distributed to users who have performed certain tasks. These can be as simple as signing up for newsletters, sharing the project on your social media pages, becoming one of its early users, and more. In the past, airdrops have struggled to develop an active user base with longevity. In other cases, users may just decide to sell the tokens and move on to more exciting projects. As a result, Lockdrop was developed as an alternative solution that can better align the long-term interests of protocol and users. So here is how Lockdrops work. As mentioned, a Lockdrop requires users to lock away a certain amount of assets for a set period of time, in exchange for the protocol's own native tokens. The more tokens you put away, and the longer you choose to lock up, the more free tokens you'll receive once the waiting period is over. In this way, protocols are able to distribute their newly minted tokens to a user base that has shown commitment to the success of their project. The Lockdrop also ensures a certain amount of value is locked within the protocol, which is often a key indicator of protocol usage and traction. On the other hand, investing in a new project through a Lockdrop allows you to become an early stakeholder, all for the cost of accessing liquidity. What are the main features of Lockdrops? Now that we know what a Lockdrop is, let's explore the main features of distinguishing Lockdrops. When looking for Lockdrop opportunities, here are the main features to consider. Lockdrops require the staking of cryptocurrency in a smart contract for a set period of time. At the end of the waiting period, token holders receive back their stake as well as free tokens. Companies use the Lockdrop method of token distribution to identify a target group that demonstrates a reliable show of commitment to the project's success. Lockdrops, unlike IEOs, IDOs, and ICOs, do not allow protocols to raise funds that new projects might be in dire need of. Examples of popular Lockdrops. Commonwealth Labs, a government-focused company, was the first to introduce the Lockdrop concept in the summer of 2019 for Edgeware, a new smart contract platform based on the Polkadot blockchain. To participate in the Edgeware Lockdrop, users were required to stake their ETH tokens in an Ethereum smart contract for 3 to 12 months. Users were then given their locked ETH tokens, as well as Edgeware's newly minted Edge tokens for free to use on the newly launched Edgeware protocol. Edgeware Lockdropped 201.2 Edge per ETH to Ethereum token holders. In a fair launch model, more than 90% of the Edgeware token, Edge, was distributed to Ethereum token holders, while 10% of the total Edge supply was allocated to the Edgeware team. Other examples of projects that use the Lockdrop method are Terra's Mars protocol and Astroport. What is the future of Lockdrops? In the cryptocurrency community, Lockdrops are still a relatively new concept. Edgeware's Lockdrop was the most successful, attracting billions of dollars in investments for the project. So, it's fair to assume that more companies will use Lockdrops to incentivize active usage on their platforms. Nonetheless, cryptocurrency is a highly experimental field, so we anticipate more Lockdrop distribution methods in the future. In closing, Lockdrops are a potentially cost-effective way to invest in a new project. They're also a way to get involved in a project at its early stages as a validator, thanks to being an early stakeholder. Not to mention, the tokens you acquire are free as long as you're willing to sacrifice a bit of liquidity. All in all, Lockdrops are an up-and-coming cryptocurrency opportunity that you should check out. And that wraps it up for what you should know about Lockdrops. What do you think about investing in Lockdrops? We'd love to know what your thoughts are. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future alpha. See ya!